itself, right? Just looking at customer acquisition costs, paid search is not going to cost more per click just because it's a downturn, right? To simplify that view. I think that there's other dynamics that can come into play where if the subprime market suddenly expands, it may become more interesting for companies who have shied away from it, but already have the capability and the products to go after it. And that may create more demand for, let's simplify it to subprime keywords, in which case that cost could increase and therefore the CAC could increase for the client, right? That's a possibility, external factor outside of their control. If there's no new entries into, it could be a new entry, it could be an existing company that decides to put more funds behind their marketing, more demand, higher CAC for everybody, right? So that's a definite possibility. Let's take that out of the equation, for example, for a moment. I think that should be a variable. Whether external factors, then there's scarcity of the population you're going after. I think the factors are acquisition costs, so the CAC, LTV of your current subscribers, LTV of the new entrants into the new customers. So some of them being still subprime, just like what you were acquiring before, and others having slipped from prime into subprime, and what the assumption is around lifetime value, so duration on the books, and what revenue they can bring. I would say the other thing is the attrition rate. Is there a change to the attrition rate with a downturn? That's another variable. And is there reason to believe that, and I guess that's the wrong formulating of the question. There's another variable which will be attrition rate, which is built into the LTV, of course, of the new population coming in. Now, after that, you can move all these variables based on conversations you have internally and with experts and try and figure out a high and a medium and a low to see where the model lands, depending on various scenarios. And I think those are the main ones. There's one additional one that I thought I'd mention, which is, and I don't know how much of the demand they're capturing with their media dollars. If there's still room to grow within the digital spaces where they're already active and they already have the experience, that's good. If they need to go outside of the channels that they have experience with in order to increase and have a chance to increase the influx of new customers to make up for the higher attrition of the base, then that may mean that they have to go to channels other than what they've done in the past. And there, the CAC has the potential to be higher. I mean, if you think about just going on TV, the CAC is going to be higher without a doubt. They may not need to go that far, but I would think that that's the media mix and how that influences the CAC is something to take into account based on your knowledge of their market and how much of the demand they're capturing currently. I'll be quiet now.
I think it's very helpful.
Oliver, when you were when you were running the business or being part of the business, would you model a scenario like this for your own use internally? Would you have done this?
I'm going to answer this as nicely as I can. The sophistication within the company was not such that that something like that would have been modeled. I mean, it took long enough for us to develop the capability to actually track LTV at the marketing source level and understand which sources of traffic delivered maybe very, very cheap CAC, new customers, but whether those new customers coming from those very cheap CAC, low CAC channels actually delivered the same LTV and tenure as the ones coming from slightly more expensive ones.